What's a 401k? What's a budget? How does a 401k run? Yes, you get extra money.
Yeah.
That's totally important.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Tuesdays with Trey. I have my guest Adam, and he's an entrepreneur. Thanks for joining me today, Adam.
It's my pleasure, buddy. My pleasure.
So how did you get into a car business?
You know what, buddy? I started when I was about your age. Started washing cars in the neighborhood, and it was just a natural progression from there.
Did you always dream of being in the car business?
You know, it's funny. I really wanted to be in the bicycle business. I thought that was like the greatest thing in the world when I was 10 years old.
So how did you go from wanting to be a bicycle thing to doing washing cars?
You know what I figured out? People love bicycles, but they were all my age. They didn't exactly have money to pay me to clean their stuff up. So I realized pretty quickly that I better get doing something else to make some money. So every Saturday, I'd go out there and I'd wash my dad's car, and my neighbors would come out. And one neighbor right next door, he just bought a brand new Toyota truck. He was watching me wash and then dry my dad's car. And he says, "Hey, would you be interested in washing my new truck?" I was like, "Yeah." Bright yellow. This is a 1980 Toyota truck, right? So this was back before your dad was even born. Okay. Anyway, I said, "Yeah, can I see it?" He goes, "Oh, I just got it." He opened the door, and I smelled that brand new car smell. You know that smell? That
Oh,
new.
it's the best smell.
Isn't that a great smell? Oh, that brown vinyl and cloth upholstery inside of that old Toyota truck, that new Toyota truck smelled so good. And I was like, "I would love to wash your truck." And he says, "Well, I'll give you $5 if you do a good job." I was like, "Wow, cool." So sure enough, I washed his truck. I had my dad come over to dry the roof because I couldn't reach it, So my dad came over, he dried the roof, and that was the beginning of a little neighborhood car wash business.
What was your favorite car to detail?
Boy, well, after detailing that truck, or washing that truck, which I thought was the coolest truck ever, especially, when I was your age. But I'll tell you what, eventually I ended up detailing and washing and waxing cars, and then got into doing some really nice stuff. So probably one of the coolest cars that I got to start cleaning every Friday. This is now, I'm in high school now. Okay, I always washed and cleaned cars all my life. But in high school, this guy got a brand new 1989 Porsche Speedster. And it is beautiful. White with white wheels. So beautiful. Tan leather. And I was able to wash that car every Friday for years. And the guy barely even drove it. I don't know why he wanted me to wash it so often, but I was like, "I love it. I'll be there." And about 3 years ago, I bought that car.
Really?
It's so cool.
From the guy?
Not from the guy, but the exact car. Because I try to remember the guy's name. He was involved with the Oakley Foundation, Oakley sunglasses, stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, cool story to realize the dream there. It was pretty neat.
Do you now have a business, or are you still just washing cars for fun?
Well, Trey, we ended up moving from washing and cleaning cars. We got into cleaning fleets of cars. So I realized that, I could wash one car at a time. Like my next door neighbor wanted his car washed. And then as soon as I got a little bit older, I did all the cars in the neighborhood. And then I started driving. And when I started driving, started doing mobile detailing. In other words, I'd drive to someone's house, set up, wash their car, clean it up really nicely, possibly wax it and detail it. And then I'd jump back in my car and drive to another person's house. Well, I spent a lot of time driving around,
Mm-hmm.
So decided to get into fleet detailing. And that is when we got into doing limousines. You know what a limousine is?
Yeah.
Big long one, right?
Yeah.
Well, those big long cars had big white roofs.
Yeah.
Right? And they always got really dingy looking. They got dirty. They didn't clean them very well. And you could see that they just looked a little bit off, a little yellow instead of bright white.
Mm-hmm.
So I used Simple Green, this product that is owned by a friend of mine, Jeff Hyder, that I just love. I should say he's the president of the company. But anyway, I scrubbed those tops with Simple Green and made them look so bright and nice. And I detailed the inside and cleaned them really well. And I'd go to one location and I would detail 5 or 7 or even 10 cars at a time without having to drive to 10 different places. So fleet detailing was really good because I could get more business in one spot.
So now do you own a business or are you still just doing that?
Well, I ended up moving from detailing into products. So you know all the stuff that you use to clean a car?
Yeah.
You do because you wash your parents' car to fill our stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, we moved from doing only fleets of cars into starting to do fleets of trucks. And when we started doing these fleets of trucks, we realized that these trucks took for a long time. They were all red. They were all Coca-Cola trucks, you know, the trucks that you see driving around delivering. Well, we started mixing chemicals together to try to do a truck faster. And by doing a truck faster, we were able to make a little bit more money. And we had to do them in the middle of the night. So we started mixing chemicals together to like, we would do a wash, right? And then you'd use a clay bar, you know, to make it smooth.
Yeah.
And then we would use a compound and to buff all the dead paint off of it to make it look shiny again. And then a polish and then a sealer. So all these different steps. Well, we started putting all 3 of them into one bottle. See if we could just do 1 step instead of 3 steps.
Whoa.
It saved hours.
Really?
It was good. It didn't initially work out at all. We did a lot of failing. We messed up a lot. But eventually we came out with a pretty neat chemical. And we decided, you know what? This chemical is kind of cool. We're making something that saves a lot of time and that's easier to use. So then we went to the swap meet. A swap meet is like a big open air marketplace. People set up a booth, you know, and they put a table out there and they're like, hey, come on up. Let me teach you about, you know, hair curlers or you know, toilet bowl cleaners or whatever. People sold all kinds of stuff. And I went there, set up a table and started selling some of the stuff that we were making, which was, you know, kind of randomly put into a bottle. And we started making stuff and selling it at the swap meet. And that's where we started Adam's Polishes, is just selling stuff out there. And then we'd add another product. We'd find another way to make it a little bit easier for customers to clean their wheels or clean their convertible tops or whatever. You know, that's the business that we have now, which is now 24 years old. Actually, just like this month, it just turned 24 years ago.
Congratulations for 24 years.
You're awesome, buddy. You're such a professional.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have any failures along the way as you were
So many. I don't know how long can this video be because the failures are the longest, you know? Failures are what helped us really stay humble, and it helped us find the right solution. And every time we tried a new thing, every single time we tried, we started with a failure. We started failing with some of the very early failures was when I started trying to figure out how to clean carpets in these limousines. People would actually, they'd get all crazy in the back. They'd get sick in the back and they would throw up in limousines. How gross is that? Oh, it's horrible. Well, I used to try to get all that out of there, and I would use, you know, a combination of cleaners and water and vacuum it all out and try to get it all out. Well, one time I used a little bit too much water and not quite enough cleaner, and that carpet did not get dry fast enough. And we left it outside and left the windows up, and the whole car smelled like mildew. That was one of the early failures. Another early failure, I remember I was cleaning the engine of a brand new Mercedes. It was 1987, because I remember there was a 1987 560 SL.
This can't be good.
It was not good, buddy. It was not. It was expensive. It was an expensive learning curve. But another, I could go on for days on failures. But the lady, her name was Suzanne. She was really nice. She wanted her engine cleaned. Okay, it had like all this stuff called cosmoline on it, and cosmoline is what the German car makers put cosmoline over the engine and undercarriage to keep it from rusting. She wanted that off. She's like, I don't like the way the engine looks. I want that off. So I'm like, sure, I'll scrub it off. So boom, started just hosing it down, scrubbing it, hose, scrub, and I got it all off. But guess what? The car wouldn't start. I got water in every single part of the engine, brand new Mercedes. And I had to call the Mercedes-Benz dealership to send their mobile person over to fix the thing, to get it working again. And it cost, like, I charged her probably $100 for the detail. I think I paid $350 to that person to get that car started again.
What life lesson did you learn from all your failures?
I guess the coolest thing is you want to get your failures out of the way as quickly as possible. So you try lots of stuff, right? And as soon as you try, I'm going to go down this street right here. Boom, dead end. What do? Well, I won't go down that street again. Back up. Let's go down this street. Boom, dead end. Okay. Well, now I know those two streets were dead ends. Let's try another one. Boom, dead end. Dang it. Third time. Boom, another one. Dead end. Another one. Dead. Oh, guess what? Here is a street that goes through, and it goes through to a beautiful green pasture. You know, perfect spot. Everything's great down that street. Well, guess what? Without having gone down all of those dead end roads and learning that those were each not the right path, and you write off, that street was bad, that street was bad, that street didn't get me there. And then boom, what did I learn? Well, I learned one thing. I learned where the good street was, but without learning where all of those dead end streets were, I never would have gotten to the good one.
Mm-hmm.
So it really helped me a lot to have that perspective of knowing this. You're going to mess up. You're absolutely going to end up going down some dead end streets. And as soon as you do, that's one more street you check off the list as a no-go, and you find a new path.
Yep. Did you have any successes in your business?
I had a few, buddy. We've been very blessed. I'll tell you what. And a lot of times our business got pretty big. And a lot of times I would tell my story and say, oh, I just worked my butt off and I really went crazy and worked hard. And then I just kept getting better and better. But I think that the way things really went, and if I was to be a little bit more humble and a lot more honest, God put certain people in my life, and He helped me find a path that was not at all what I thought the path would be. And, God put me in a neighborhood with cars that I could wash. And then God literally put me in a position of getting this next level of car washing and detailing, and then to the next level with creating these opportunities. Like if I sat there and thought, oh, it's just all me, just being really hard worker and real smart, I got to give a little bit of credit to the Lord for that, because, or not a little bit, but probably all the credit to the Lord, because if it wasn't for God directing me in those individual places, certainly I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Each one of these places that ended up being very successful. So moving on, the chemical business became big. And then we started buying our suppliers. We started buying the companies that we bought from. We purchased those businesses. And then a big, huge company came along and they bought our business. And now there's just maybe 100 different businesses underneath this one huge umbrella of companies. And then I was able to spend tons of time with my family and the kids that you know very well. And all that was just a total blessing. So yes, lots of successes, and like I said, lots of failures to get to those successes. But I think that God's been real good to me and to our family, and I think that without His grace, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Mm-hmm. Do you still own a part of the car detailing business?
Well, let's say the business is a fire log, a log about like this big, like this. I own approximately one toothpick. Okay? Very small little sliver. So, but I'm still involved in it. I still do the videos. I do some of the videos. Joe Triguero, who's our main video guy, every once in a while he'll request that I help do a video. We just shot a new video series in Scottsdale, Arizona at our place down there in January. I also get involved with some product testing and playing with that, although probably not as much as they'd like for me to test the products. And then we also videos, and then I go to the car shows, which is a tough thing. I got to go to where all the beautiful cars are and talk to the customers and hang out. And sometimes I sign bottles, sign signs, and sign T-shirts and say, hey, shine on. Thanks, Adam. So it's pretty cool.
What would you want to tell a foster kid wanting to get into car detailing or just a business?
I'll tell you what. So you know that we love supporting foster care, and your dad's organization, Freedom Youth Foundation, is such a cool thing that we're so honored to be involved with it. The thing I love about car washing and detailing is that you don't need a ton of money to get into it, and that if you focus on excellence and doing the best possible job you can, you're better than 90% of all the detailers out there.
Mhm.
We have a school where we teach detailing. We teach it at our facility in Denver, at our facility in Anaheim, and at our little store in Scottsdale. In fact, I'm going to Denver here in a couple days, and we're going to go teach our class there, and I'm going to go do a whole segment on how to get your business off the ground and how to do that. But I would tell a foster kid who wants to learn about detailing, one, shoot me an email and I'd be happy to walk you through. Adam@adamspolishes.com. I'd be happy to help. The next thing is, if you want to learn something like this, it's probably one of the easiest businesses to get into, to get started, and to actually make a really good living at. And just by showing up and doing a good job, again, there's so many people in the industry that are just mediocre that you can really be excellent and you shine really quickly above the rest. So it's a great thing to get focused. The other thing is instant gratification. When you take a grubby looking car that doesn't shine very well and you clean it up real nice, you like cleaning your dad's truck and your mom's
super
truck.
fun.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
The instant gratification you get when you clean a car and then you detail a car, you're finished and this thing looks fantastic. It's so nice. You get instantly, you feel good. You sit a little taller, you feel a little bit better because you just did something great. And the proof is you're sitting right there in the driveway. You did something great. And then you walk away right there with money. And that is nice too. Hard work, boom, get paid on the spot. That's a nice thing. You don't wait a week or 2 weeks for your paycheck to come, and you don't get paid hourly. You make money based on the actual effort that you do on that car or on that truck or on that SUV. You get paid right now. So it's a pretty cool business. I obviously like it a lot.
Thanks for joining me today, Adam.
Buddy, it's my pleasure. You're awesome.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tuesdays with Trey. Hope you can tune in next time. What's a 401k? What's a budget? How does a 401k run? Yes, you get extra money.
Yeah.
That's totally important.
Yeah.